YouTube, welcome to another pickup video. So I went to and sold at the Shepton Mallet toy fair. Now Shepton Mallet is not far from Bristol. It's about 25-35 minute drive. The toy fair is held at the Bath and showrooms, and it's one of those fairs where on a good day it can be amazing. On a bad day, it can be pretty poor. Today was actually a bit of a good day for a bit of selling and for buying. I made a bit of money, but what I did was I spent most of my money rebuying some more stuff. So what I thought I'd do is I'd show you a few of my pickups. So the first lot, as you can see in front of you, these are Mark's toy soldiers. They are much larger than you actually think. They're not small soldiers. They're pretty big. They're probably about 5 inches tall, and they're stamped Louis Marks. Now, if you ever see these, they can range in prices. So collectors will pay good money for them. They can range from up to £25 each for more rarer ones. Conditions always a must for these. Generally speaking, though, a lot of these you do find the Germans will have like pinholes where people used to throw arrows at them. But these are much highly detailed. This one here, for example, is not made by Marks, it's made by an American company. And as you can tell, it's a little bit, it's not as detailed. It's a bit more, how do we say, cheaper looking. But they were cool. So these originally were £2 each, but I got the whole lot for £15. There's not mega money in them. The cowboys, which I find pretty cool, I don't know what I'm going to charge for them, but I might keep them because they're so good. They're really, really lovely. Here we have the cowboy with his revolver. The details, it's just so cool. I mean, imagine back in the day, these weren't as expensive as you probably think, because they're quite large. They're probably pocket money prices, and you probably had 2 or 3 in a set. But I've never seen any of these in box, so I might do a little bit of research soon. Have a look for these in box. So yeah, I got the cowboy with his revolver. I presume it's American GI with his bazooka. The one in front of me is a Japanese soldier with a pretty terrifying face. It's a little bit racial stereotype, isn't it? These toys came out in the 60s and 70s at the point when war toys were like at the height of their popularity. It's machete in his hand there. What I believe is a Russian with his grenade, his little pistol in his hand. Then you've got some Native American Indians, their spears. Another cowboy, this time he's got his revolver. Not revolver, sorry, his rifle. Maybe a Winchester. But these are really cool. If you ever find these, pick them up. They're just cool things to have. They should always be stamped with a Marks logo. Made in GB Britain, Marks Toys. Marks Toys were very, very popular in the 60s. They made these kind of hard plastic toys. They made things like, they made Johnny West. Lots of toys. They're probably the most popular toy brand in the 60s, especially in terms of toys they put out. Some more Indians. This one's got his bow and arrow, but unfortunately the arrow snapped. This one here has got his headdress. His axe and dagger. And last but not least, I think this is a Japanese soldier throwing the grenade. But they're beautifully made, beautifully sculpted. I mean, toy soldiers were always really popular. Nowadays, toy soldiers are so cheaply made, no effort put into them. But back in those days, they were really well made. These are the sort of things that, well, unfortunately, they don't survive that well because other people painting them up and they kind of deteriorate the plastic, or they're very, very good for air rifle shooting or BB shooting or pellet shooting, whatever you want to do, catapults or just throwing stones at them, darts, another thing. They're always being messed around, but these are lovely. So next up, I basically paid £5 for all these things, and you might not think it's the greatest steal in the world, but to me it is. So first up is Thunderbirds, the hood. This is made by Matchbox. Enemy with sword. Now he is on his card. He is mint condition. Unfortunately, the card is not so good. But these usually go for about £5 to £6 anyway. So I thought, well, along with this other stuff, it makes it worth it, really. So then we got the James Bond, Spy Love Me, Lotus Esprit. The mechanism still works, thank God, because if they don't work, then they're pretty much worthless. But does it work? There you go, like that. It's slightly yellowed and it's missing the bombs. It's missing the back fin as well. But it's not mega scratched up. It still has a sticker, which is, going to always be missing. Made by Corgi. This would have come out in the late 70s. I think the Spy Love Me is 76 or 77, the year it came out, so it's probably around that sort of time. Just a nice little toy car, really. Obviously, it goes on the water in the film. I'm not really sure if there's a way of de-yellowing this paint. I know you can de-yellow white plastic. I'm not sure if you can de-yellow this paint. But if I could work out a way of de-yellowing it, I might give it a go. I might get a wipe over to get rid of the dirt on it. Like that stuff there. Next up we have the Buck Rogers. I think it's in the 21st century. Starfire by Corgi. That's a copyright of 1980, I think. This was a very popular set. I know you can get it in the small version as well. Corgi Juniors. I haven't had time to really look at this one yet. What's cool, it still has its landing gear. I can't see anything broken off. It still has its wheels. I don't know if this is worth that much, because it's made in the 1980s or late 70s. Chances are it's not as collectible as if it was made in, say, the mid-60s. But that still works, which is always a plus. Lovely little vehicle. Has to be worth £3 or £4 all day long. So to make the £5 deal good, I also throw in this as well. This is a Matchbox 1982, 1983 catalogue for collectors. Now I love catalogues. I absolutely love catalogues. I'm not a big fan of die-cast, but when it comes to catalogues which are filled with pictures, it's just a great little way of looking through. I'm looking at days gone by, really. It's a bit like an Argos catalogue in some ways. But so I remember all these Pepsi cars. I'm a bit too young for this sort of era. I wasn't born a couple of years afterwards, but look at these sets, they're lovely, aren't they? Artwork was still good. Look at that. That'd be crazy. It always reminds me of Hot Wheels ones. When I was a kid growing up in the 90s, every single cartoon on TV, kids cartoon or kids TV program, would have adverts in between. And the advert, without a doubt, would always be the Hot Wheels loop tracks. I don't know how they've sold them in loads of different ways. Glow in the dark, multiple colours. Ones that go upside down, ones that go really tall, ones go like... I don't know how they keep selling them, but they do. I never happened when I was a kid though. If I ever do find one, I might buy one. That's cool, the plane on the back. I might do a little video where I go through this sort of this catalogue at a later date. It's pretty cool. So that was £5 please. 2 die cast, the Thunderbirds and the catalogue. Next up, I bought a load of these Batman cars. Now, these were cheap. These were I don't usually go for this sort of thing. I'm not a big die cast fan, but I do love Batman. I do love these sort of old style cars. I do love the DC Comics. These were £5 each. Not the best deal in the world, but if you were to get like some of the more popular sets, they're worth more. But I think these are worth about £15 each now online. Some of these will be for sale at my online and through YouTube if you want to. You can also find us on our Instagram page, Time Tunnel Toys UK. But we'll probably also sell these at toy shows. I prefer to sell things at toy shows, to be honest. But these will probably be about £10 each at a toy show. But I'm always willing to do deals. That's that one there. That one there is, you didn't see already, is a 1940s Batmobile. They did so many Batmobiles. It wasn't just a TV Batmobile in '66. It wasn't just a TV movie Batmobile of 1989. They did loads and loads and loads. All the comic books had different ones. Batman's original Batmobile was just pretty much a normal car, to be honest. There's that one there. There's this one here from the 50s. Very much a 50s design with the spoiler on the back. This is when it starts to really look like a Batmobile. And at the front of the car, which you can't see, there is a Batman emblem. Batman himself. This one's from the 80s. You've got that kind of Corvette, top down Batmobile look. Pretty appalling. I mean, what? It's just, but it is what it is. I mean, these Corgi models are just beautiful. 2004 they came out, I believe. They're getting on. Unfortunately, these two are stuck together. So at the bottom you've got the Killer Mothmobile, which is really freaky looking, and then you've got another 1960s Batmobile. So I paid £5 each for all of those. Not mega money, but also it's good to have good stock on the stall. Next, I found this, and this looks like your typical knife you would get in like any kind of like kids play set, but it's not. If you know what you're buying, you can always find bargains. This was 50p in a box of stuff. A guy had a load of toy trains, and I was just like, oh yeah, I think I know what that is. It's got some damage here, and it's obviously been chewed on the blade. It's plastic, it's not obviously a real knife, but what I knew about it, which made it, what I thought would make worth money, that bit, it's like a spring on it. So this is like a bayonet, and it would go on a rifle. Now I was pretty sure until I checked it, and I was confirmed right. This goes on a SLR, which is a rifle popular in the late 60s and 70s. Airfix made one for kids, so it's about 2 foot long sort of thing, and on card they can go up to like £600 on the original backing card. So it's Airfix, I think it's like a yellow colour. With the rifle on its own, I've seen go for £200. I've seen it go for anywhere, also I've seen it for sale at a toy fair for about £90 to £100. But always, this is missing. I identified it by the 2 spots mainly. So I don't know what it's worth. It's obviously got damage, so it's not going to be worth it if it was mint condition. But if anybody wants to complete their set, this will be for sale. I'm thinking I might aim for around about £35 for it, which is a lot for a piece of plastic, which has been badly beaten up. But it's one of those things you just never find. These things are usually always thrown away, always considered junk by toy collectors because they don't know what it is, and they just bin it. So I'm going to see what I can get for it. If there's any collectors out there that needs one in their collection, I'm aiming at £35-ish, but I'm always willing to open for the deals. If you're UK based, I can probably do some free postage with that as well. So, send me a message. Right. Last but not least, I saw these as soon as I came into the show, as I was setting up, and I saw Stan, and I thought, I'll go back and have a look when I get time. I forgot about it the whole show, and I just remembered the last 5 minutes of the show thinking, oh no, where is it? Where is that stand gone? So I ran to it, and I found it, thank God. So these were £5 each, but I got the whole lot for £20. I originally said 15 to the guy, but I pulled out a £20 note, and I thought, you know what, these are worth £20, so I threw in, just keep it, add £20. So what these are is vintage read-along book and tapes. So this is the Star Wars one for the first film. So they're not brand new, they've been opened, but you get the tape and you get the books read along. I'll do a bit more in-depth video soon. But these are quite cool, and it comes up with other titles on the back. Ewoks, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Planet of the Hoojibs, Droid World. So I got one from the first Star Wars film, and I got one from Empire Strikes Back as well. Then obviously you got a Jedi. And then it also came with Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan, which is probably the best one. It doesn't have a bag to put in, but it's just the same as all the rest. Comes with the cassette tape. And last but not least, the reason why I really bought it for was something, a toy brand you don't really see much of, especially in vintage form. That's Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Story and music. 24 pages to read along. I'm not sure who reads these books, if it's got sound effects, or what they sound like, if there's clips from the film, I have no idea. But I thought, well, I'll give it a go. They have to be worth £10 each at least. There's Temple of Doom. I'm not sure if they did Last Crusade, I doubt it. There's E.T. And there's Star Trek. Motion picture, I think is 2 and 3. And we just saw a little glimpse of E.T. Now, E.T. didn't really have much of a toy line in a sense, because what could you do really? There's no real bad guys. There's no real Darth Vader. You know, there was no kind of like enemy to fight. It wasn't like it was G.I. Joe where you can just make a million characters up and just add them to the TV show, or like He-Man, for example. But E.T., you know, it's one of those films where it was really popular, but there wasn't much of a toy line. But a few toys were produced, and I picked up these two. Now, a seller, not an actual seller, like not a dealer, but a guy came in and said to me, "Can I sell these to you?" And he originally wanted £30, and I felt a bit sorry for the guy, because the guy obviously knew his stuff. Well, didn't know his stuff. He was an old guy, did his research, and I thought, well, I'll have a look. So what I got was E.T. and Elliot. Now, I tried to find this particular E.T. and I've only found, two of them. One sold for £15 on eBay, and the other, which was a kind of like an auction price. Another one sold for £38 at an auction price as well. The £38 was in really good condition, similar to this, and this is like mint and has its little weird finger still attached. The £15 didn't, which means that even if this is in bad condition, it's still worth £15. So it was £38 plus postage was the high end one. So I need to get some batteries to test if it works. But he's in really lovely condition. There's a few of these out on the market, different styles, different looks. This to me is probably the better one. I'm pretty biased because I got it in my collection now. But he will be for sale. But he's one of those things where I might keep holding for a bit until I find the right price for him. He's really nice. So Elliot basically comes on this bike, and I'm pretty sure it's like a traction sort of thing. Unfortunately, he's made by LGN Toys, but unfortunately he's missing the basket with ET. So if anybody does have the basket with ET, I'd be lovely to hear from you, because I would love to complete this set, and it's my own collection, this one, because I still love that kind of image of him flying around. But if he had the basket, he's £20 all day long, and ET, you know, I said it's nearly 40. I paid £20 for the pair, which is a lot of money, but I felt sorry for the guy, and I could tell they're in good condition, just missing that one bit. I should get my money back, double my money on him, and my money back on him. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry this dragged on a bit too long. There'll be more pickup videos over the next month or so. I'm off to Birmingham NEC on the 27th of December. If anybody's around, Birmingham NEC is the best toy show in the UK. I mean, Sandown's pretty good in London as well, but Birmingham has a lot of what I call kind of pop culture toys. So things like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, E.T., He-Man, Action Man, toys from the 60s and 70s and 80s, as opposed to your trains and dinkies. Nothing wrong with trains and dinkies, but it's more my sort of thing, and it's hundreds and hundreds of stalls. I mean, Shepton Mallet is 200 stalls, and I think NEC is 600, so it's 3 times the size, and it's amazing. You can find some great bargains. There'll be price things from, you know, pennies all the way up to thousands of pounds, and you know, it's like, I treat it like a museum. You know, go along, try and find something you like. If you can't find anything, you paid what, £10 to get in maximum. I think it is £10. Probably it's about right, maybe a bit less. And you've had a whole day just looking at old vintage toys that you had as a kid or wanted as a kid, or things you never knew existed. It's always fun. So please, come out to the NEC on the 27th of December and support your local toy shows. And keep trying to promote toys and keep trying to find toys and keep sharing the love. Anyway, thank you much for watching. I'll see you soon.